will comprise approximately 3,000 personnel, and they will be in addition to those troops that are already in Kabul as we conduct, in the process of conducting our drawdown. So we still have more than 650 troops in Kabul right now. These 3,000 will join them there.
Can I do a quick follow-up?
Sure.
Thank you. Does the military mission include flying U.S. Civilian personnel, the embassy personnel out of the country, or only processing and securing them at the airport?
We certainly anticipate being postured to support airlift as well for not only the reduction of civilian personnel from the embassy, but also in the forward movement of special immigrant visa applicants. So we do anticipate that there will be airlift required of us, and we are working through the final plans right now to put that into place.
Thank you.
Yeah, Tom.
Thanks, John. In regards to what you just said to Bob about the possible airlifting out of individuals, in regards to the special immigrant visa applicants, has it been decided yet where they will be airlifted to, and if so, where, please?
We're still working through a series of options here, Tom. We anticipate that we'll be looking at locations overseas, outside of the United States, as well as U.S. installations that belong to the United States, either overseas and or here at home. We don't have, I don't have a list for you right now, but I think it'll be a mix of both. And as we get more clarity on that, we'll certainly update you.
Just to be clear, will it follow the same criteria you outlined earlier? Those who have passed the security clearance could come within the United States, and those without other locations?
I'm going to defer to my State Department colleagues to talk to the SIV process more specifically. Our job will be in locating and helping secure facilities and installations that can be used. And as we did with Fort Lee, I think you can expect the Defense Department will lean in to the degree possible that we can to help facilitate this movement and relocation.
Thanks.
David?
John, will these infantry battalions help with the movement of diplomats from the embassy to the airport, as well as moving them out of the country? And if so, will that movement be done by convoy, or will it be done by helicopter? And let me just add one more question.
Sure.
You say temporarily.
I do.
But aren't they going to remain there in case further drawdowns are ordered?
So let me take the first one first. These infantry battalions will be there to help facilitate this safe and orderly reduction. And I don't want to get into too much tactical detail about what that would require. Commanders on the ground will be working with the State Department to determine what's most needed. And if it is to help facilitate and secure transportation to the airport, then our troops will be postured to do that. But again, I can't speak here today, when they're not even there yet, about what that's going to look like, what the transportation is going to look like. And some of this, David, is going to depend on the degree of permissibility in the environment, in the security environment. But these are infantry battalions that are highly trained and will have the capabilities to support in any manner what the State Department needs to facilitate this reduction. Your second question on the temporary nature. As the State Department has said, they're going to try to complete this reduction of their personnel by the end of this month. And these troops are being ordered in to help facilitate that purpose, that mission along that timeline. I won't speculate beyond August 31st as to what the footprint's going to look like or how many troops are going to be there and what they're going to be doing. What I can tell you is we're focused on trying to get them there as soon as possible to facilitate this mission, which is the reduction of civilian personnel by the end of the month.
And one follow-up. Was there a specific event which triggered this decision?
It would be wrong to conclude that there was one specific event that led to this decision. That we believe this is the prudent thing to do, given the rapidly deteriorating security situation in and around Kabul. So I think there's a confluence of things you guys have all been reporting over the last 24 to 36 hours the Taliban's advances and where they are. And I think, again, cognizant of that security situation, this administration believed that this was a prudent action to take.
And one more math question.
Yes, sure.
3,650, and then another 1,000 of this joint task force to process. So
It's Joint Army Air Force. Yeah, that's about 1,000 personnel. It's engineers, it's medical personnel, it's military police, that kind of thing. And they are going to Qatar right now because, as you know, we've been working with countries in the region, to Tom's question, to try to find processing sites outside Afghanistan. So I would just tell you they're going to Qatar for now, and then we'll see what the need is after that. But we want to be flexible, and we want to get them close by and in the region, and that's why they're going there right now. Courtney.
And then there's one infantry BCT that's going to Kuwait, you said, and that's only if things go bad, you have like a QRF basically, right?
They'll be there postured as prepared. If there's a need for additional security at the airport, they'll be in the region and a lot more accessible.
Okay, so, and then the ones who are going to Qatar, that's specifically for SIV applicants. I mean, it sounds like engineers, medical, and MPs, they're going to, it sounds like to build.
No, when I say engineers, I'm actually, we're talking about a very small number of engineers, and it's largely for electrical power. Okay. It's to make sure that we actually have, power to do the processing of applicants. I don't, by engineers, I didn't mean construction and that kind of thing.
So in the BCT going to Kuwait, that's like what, roughly 3,000 to 3,500 people, right, total?
A common infantry combat brigade is about 3,500 to 4,000 people.
So why is it, I'm unclear why, so it's 3,000 people who are going to HKIA right away in the coming days, and then you have another 3,500 who will be there on standby in case all for security. I'm unclear on what they're doing. I mean, if the 3,000 going to HKIA, it's like a couple of miles from the embassy to HKIA. What exactly are 3,000 people doing? Are they just there securing the airport then?
They'll be there to provide safety and the secure movement of the reduction of civilian personnel out of the embassy to help facilitate their departure from the country, to also help with the process of moving special immigrant visa applicants out of the country, and to provide additional security at the airport. Again, we believe this is a prudent measure given the deteriorating security situation.
3,000 is a lot of people, though. I mean, I'm still, what is, can you give any better sense of, like on a day-to-day, what are they doing? I mean, it sounds like they must be, that number of people, they must be responsible for getting people to the airport, and then actually, it almost sounds as if they're coming in and taking over security at the airport, if it's that size.
I wouldn't go that far, Courtney. The Turkish forces are still at the airport. The Turks are still in the lead of security at the airport. We already have some security forces, United States security forces at the airport, including some aviation elements. These 3,000 would be going to bolster that presence and to make sure that the airport is secure enough to facilitate the movement of all these people over the next couple of weeks. Again, this is about prudent preparation, and we want to make sure that we've got enough on hand to adapt to any contingencies. So your question about the numbers being too high, we believe it's appropriate to the security situation that we see now and that we can anticipate possibly in the future, which is again why we're going to flow a brigade combat team into the theater to be ready in case we need even more. Now, hopefully, Courtney, this will be an incredibly permissive environment, and we won't need these additional capabilities. But the Secretary believes the safety and security of our people, not just American troops, but our allies and partners and our State Department colleagues, is of paramount concern, and he's not going to add additional risk to that safe movement.
Just very quickly, Kandahar City and Herat City, can you confirm what the Taliban are reporting that they've taken it?
I can't, and I'm not going to do battlefield assessments here from the Pentagon podium. Yeah, let me go back to the phones. I know we got lots to get through. Tara Kopp.
Hi, Don. Thanks for doing this. A couple questions. The infantry battalions, where are they coming from?
The three infantry battalions that I talked about are already coming from inside the Central Command area of responsibility, and I think I'd rather leave it at that for now. They're
Okay.
already in theater.
Okay, thank you. And then the 1,000 that'll be at Qatar, is the intent that they will stay at Qatar, or would they also be flying into Kabul to provide additional support if needed?
Yeah, as I mentioned it to David, right now the plan is to get them to Qatar because again we were looking at regional sites for processing of SIV applicants. Qatar is one of those sites that we are looking at potentially being able to use if they need to move in part or in whole elsewhere to do this job to help with the application process. You know, we'll deal with that at the right time. But for right now, in the coming days, they'll be heading to Qatar.
And last one, besides the increase in troops, it becomes kind of a logistics issue if you don't have enough, I guess, airlift support. Is the U.S. also going to send additional planes or get additional contracted air to be able to, I guess, increase the throughput of people that can leave Kabul?
As I said earlier, we do anticipate an increased need for U.S. airlift, and the Secretary has already had conversations with the chairman and with Transportation Command about these potential needs. So we do fully expect that there'll be additional United States military airlift required. I just don't have the details here today for you, exactly what that's going to look like, how many tails, and what the sorties are going to look like. But we absolutely anticipate being more involved in the airlift element of this mission. Lucas.
John, what about close air support? Are you going to increase the number of drones or fighter jets overhead to protect these troops?
We still have, yesterday we have, and today we have the authority and capabilities in the region to conduct airstrikes if needed. That's not going to change as a result of these new mission sets.
Does this mean the U.S. military withdrawal is not going to be complete by August 31st?
Again, what I said was we're aiming to facilitate the reduction of these civilian personnel by August 31st. So it's all lining up on the same timeline. I won't speculate about what the footprint's going to look like post-August 31st because there's this additional mission set of helping process special immigrants. So we're just going to have to wait and see. But the drawdown itself is still on track to be complete by August 31st.
That makes no sense, John.
I know what you're
putting in 3,000 troops.
I know what you're saying, Lucas. I'm saying of the original footprint plans, that's still continuing. But yes, we are adding additional troops for this specific and narrow focus.
And you're hoping to get them all out by the end of the month.
I'm not going to speculate beyond August 31st. Our job here now with this additional plus up is to help facilitate the safe movement of civilian personnel out of Afghanistan, and the president's been very clear that he wants that reduction complete by the end of August. That's what we're focused on.
Have you spoken to the Taliban that they know that you're doing this and that you have some assurances or maybe guarantees that they will not attack these additional forces moving in?
The Defense Department has not spoken to the Taliban about this.
So are you concerned they're going to be under attack?
As I said, we've made it very clear, as I just did a few minutes ago, that as in all cases, our commanders will have the right of self-defense, and any attack upon our forces will be met with a swift and appropriate response.
All right, folks, thank you so much for joining us here at Golden State Times. If you're new to the channel, we encourage you to subscribe by clicking that middle button. Also, check out our previous video by clicking the video on the right, or a video you might enjoy by clicking the video on the left. Also, don't forget to click the thumbs up button and share this video on social media. Peace.